clarify my position, because I'm very much in support of free and public early childhood education for all children. I have a lot of questions about private provision in this field. For several reasons. First of all, as we said, setting up an early childhood service is not just about what is happening within the early childhood, in the preschool or within the early childhood center. It is about engaging, building a relationship basically between the public and the private. It is a public space in general. It is about how we as a community, as a municipality, as a society, think about what we want for our children and how we want to engage them. This, I think, is fundamentally public responsibility which should not be left to private providers. This is my conviction. When you end up with a private, mainly private system as you do in many countries in this world, this brings a lot of problems. Especially if the system is not properly regulated. One problem is that as soon as you talk about a private system that is for profit, which you have in many countries, then you talk about the cost of the system. You start talking about investments, you start talking about public responsibility, all of a sudden you talk about costs. And one of the most important cost factors in this field is staff costs. So what we see in many private systems around the world is that for reasons of financing, for economic reasons, there's huge pressure on the workforce. There's interest to keep qualifications low, because low qualified staff pay less. Many private systems have difficulties achieving quality, because there is a recognition now, if you want quality early childhood provision with high quality outcomes for children, you have to have well qualified and competent practitioners, and in a private system these are seen as a risk, because you have to pay them. So that's one crucial question. Many private profit systems have covered this quality. Another question, I think that's an ethical question as well. Once you move towards private provision, you may start with a multitude of small private providers, but sooner or later you're going to get this phenomenon of corporatization. That means big providers moving, buying small services, and a big childcare incorporation basically provides this service. We have this, you see, one of the most devastating examples of this we've seen in Australia, for instance. There was almost a monopoly by one huge corporation, ABC Learning, who provided childcare, and with huge public subsidies, money going into this, parents paying for this. The first question around this is an ethical question. Is it responsible to have public funding, taxpayers' money basically, subsidizing these businesses, which are trading on the stock market, for instance? I think it's a fundamentally political ethical question whether we want to do this. The Australian example has shown that for some reason of mismanagement, of financial mismanagement, this huge corporation collapsed and had to be bailed out of another huge amount of taxpayers' money. But there's lots of risks involved. There are, I'd say, some lessons to learn from privatization. And one of the lessons has been learned quite well in another country at the other end of the world, New Zealand, with a fairly well-developed but usually private early childhood system. They have introduced very rigid set of regulations. There are quality standards, there are requirements for the qualification of teachers and professionals, and this seems to be one way of trying to regulate and govern successfully our private system. But in general, I think the risks are high, especially when it's private for profit, and I think we are in a situation in many European countries where we need to revisit this idea of a free public education. Right, everyone working in this field. So we're talking about teachers and practitioners, we're talking about policymakers, we're talking about researchers, we're talking about trainers and university lecturers. So that's, I would include all these people who's working in this field. I'd say one of the things that we all need to keep in mind is that when we should be very clear and explicit and proud of our expertise and our professionalism and what we know about working with young children, families and communities, we should never take this knowledge for granted. And I think it's a crucial professional requirement for everyone working in this field to be aware that while I may have professional knowledge and experience, as practitioners in preschool certainly have professional knowledge and experience, the people that I'm working with, the children, the families, other professionals, they also have knowledge and experience which is relevant, and we need to get together. The other thing that's related is that we have to understand that we can develop a professional identity. I can see myself as a professional without having to be superior to other people in this field. And this is a responsibility again for training and for universities, for instance, to support people to develop a professional identity and a secure professional identity which allows them to engage with children and parents and other professionals at an eye level. Say, when we come together, we can construct new knowledge, new practices, we can learn with each other. It's not about me telling you, it's about the two of us engaging in a